Hi there everyone, your Pyral, here with another vlog. So a few vlogs back, I mentioned before that I was working on upgrading my Cyberse deck, because the last time I upgraded it was, I want to say February 2019, so yeah, it's needed some upgrading, but all the cards that I ordered arrived, so my Cyberse deck is now complete. So this is my Cyberse deck for November 2019. And I don't think it's going to be changing anytime soon, because Eternity Code doesn't come out until later, but yeah. In terms of changes for this deck, they're mostly things from, I believe it's called Fist of the Gadgets, and a few things from Chaos Impact, but there's also a few things from older sets that I added in. Anyways, let's go over that. I have all my cards laid out as I usually do. So right over here, of course, I have Cyberse Magician, just because for what I have going for this deck, having a Ritual monster would be handy. And also, just having damage I take and getting an increase in attack when it fights Link monsters, helpful. Degrade Buster can banish things, very helpful. Boot Staggered is easy to summon, just because whenever I normal summon a Cyberse monster, it just comes onto the field. So there's that. SIMM Tablir is a new addition to the deck. Basically, I can special summon that, get back a level 4 Cyberse monster, which I have a lot of, back into my hand, which is very handy. Clock Wyvern for fusing, and also I can just get a token out. So there's that. I was considering taking out ROM Cloudia, but who knows, maybe getting something back from my graveyard would be handy with its effect. Or even like its destruction effect, where I can get a level 4 lower Cyberse monster from my deck to my hand. That could be handy. Lady Debug, very useful whenever it's summoned. I can just add a level 3 or lower Cyberse monster from my deck to my hand. And I do have a few of those. Balancer Lord, just handy for the extra normal summons. And sometimes, if it gets banished, I could use its other effect. Code Radiator, that's another new card that I added here. I can just use it for my hand for link summoning Encode Talker monsters, and also its other effect where I can just lower a monster's attack to 0. That can come in handy. Cyberse Gadget, just I can special summon a level 2 or lower Cyberse monster. Oh, any monster, but I only have Cyberse cards. And also, I get a token whenever it's sent to the sent to the graveyard. So, yay. Widget Kid, that's just there for extra normal summons with its effect. So I could use that in combo with, like, Lady Debug, and then have that get something. Or special summon Balancer Lord, then use its effect to get an extra normal summon. Widget Kid is very helpful. Backup Secretary, just special summon onto the field if I have another Cyberse on the field. Link Infraflyer, since I have a lot of Link monsters, I can easily special summon that. Microcoder is another new card. That can also be used as a Link material from the hand if I'm using it for a Encode Talker monster. And also, I can just add a Cynet Speller Trap from my deck to my hand with its effect. Cyberse Synchron is there for synchro summoning. So, there's that. Dotscaper. That just, it can come back, like, when it's sent to the graveyard, or if it's banished, so, yay. Now, onto spells. Cynet Backdoor is really nice just to get a free direct attack, but also banishing something can actually come in handy, because I have a lot of things who have effects that involve banishing, like Balancer Lord over there, or Dotscaper, and it also gives me a search. Cynet Codec is a new one. I run 2 of these. So if I summon a Encode Talker monster, I can just add a Cyberse monster from my deck to my hand that has the same attribute as it. So for example, if I were to summon, like, let's say Decode Talker, I get myself a Cyberse Synchron into my hand. Or ROM Cloudia. Things like that. So easy way to, like, help thin out my deck and, like, search for things that could be useful. Cynet Fusion is there for summoning my Cyberse Clock Dragon. And then Cynet Optimization, that's another new card. I only run one of these, though. And it's just there for for my Code Talkers, because I do run a lot of those. And then I can just get an extra normal summon from that. Cynet Ritual is for Cyberse Magician, plus it can be searched by one of the link monsters I have. And same with Cynet Fusion, that can be searched by one of the link monsters I run. Forbidden Lance, just there for lowering attack and making something immune to spell and traps, because that part can come in handy, actually. Gold Sarcophagus, I can actually use that banishing effect from it for something like Dotscaper or Balancer Lord over there. Very, very handy. Monster Reborn, just because it's a free special summon from the graveyard. Mystical Space Typhoon, just clearing the opponent's back row. 1-for-1, that's a really handy card. I could just get any level 1 monster from my deck to my hand. So, easy way to get Microcoder, Dotscaper, Cyberse Synchron, and also, like, discarding things. I could just, like, discard Dotscaper to bring out Microcoder to my hand. Dotscaper comes back. A lot of combo potential with that. Then one-time passcode, just for a free token. Raigeki, just to clear the opponent's monsters. Very, very handy card, and I should have had that in my deck sooner. United We Stand, just because I wanted like a filler card, and I can easily swarm my field with monsters to make use of United We Stand. Anyways, on to traps. I don't have many traps this time around. I have Bottomless Trap Hole, very useful. Fiendish Chain for negating an effect. Recoded Alive to get out some Code Talkers. Storming Mirror Force, because in my opinion, I think that's more handy than Mirror Force. Because just bringing things back to the hand can be more useful than just outright destroying things, especially since I play against Matt, who relies on having some of his monsters destroyed for their effects. Torrential Tribute is a nice field clearer. Now on to the extra deck. This is where things get really nice. Let's work my way up from the weaker things. Cyberse Witch can easily search for Cynet Ritual and Cyberse Magician, so there's that. Clock Spartoy can get out Cynet Fusion and bring back Clock Wyvern if it's in the graveyard, or just any level 4 Cyberse monster in general. Cyberse Wicked is a new addition here. It's basically the equivalent of these two for synchros, plus all of these give link protection when they're on the field. Hello, Light. Clock Lizard. I might swap this out for something, but it's basically like my last resort just to get out Cyberse Clock Dragon really easily, just in case like I need a really big heavy hitter. Like this works really well in the late game. Another new addition, Shootingcode Talker. It's mostly there to complete the set of the other Code Talkers, but this with like Cynet Codec, I can get out Code Radiator, and also this thing's effect. The drawing might come in handy, but really it's just there. Also, the links, like these two links can help when trying to get like an extra link or something. Then we have Powercode Talker, which can come in handy because of its effect where it just doubles its attack and also can negate an effect. Transcode Talker, in my opinion, this is the most useful Code Talker that we have, just because once it's summoned, I can just bring back another Link 3 or lower Cyberse monster and like have it point to it, so I can easily like just have a co-link next to this with like Excode over here, or Powercode, or even like Shootingcode with its like up and down arrows, or like Encode here. This is really useful. Plus it gives like immunity plus attack boosting. Nice. Excode. I don't really use its effect to block the opponent's main monster zones that much, but that can come in handy. Plus it has the attack boost, and it also does give immunity to things that it points to, I think. Yeah. Encode. That's another neat little thing. I mean, its effect does come in handy as well, so there's that. And then Decode Talker, just because I needed a dark attribute Code Talker for Cynet Codec, because all of these Code Talkers represent one of the 6 attributes. Here's a new addition, Linkmail Archfiend. It's a Link 4 monster, which can actually work with Firewall's Exceed Dragon's effect. But like, I have a Cyberse, a Fusion, a Ritual, and an Exceed monster for Linkmail's effect, so there's that. Plus, it's a decently heavy hitter with 2800 attack. Then over here we have Firewall Exceed Dragon. Can bring this out with its effect, but also just it's an Exceed monster. So also since I have a lot of Link monsters that can like eventually point to this thing, that could boost Exceed Dragon's effect or attack to a pretty crazy amount. Cyberse Clock Dragon. This is probably like my second heaviest hitter, just because like I have a lot of potential to just use a lot of Link monsters as materials, especially like I can just bring Clock Dragon out a second time with this. Like, it's my last resort monster when my other heavy hitters like fail. Cyberse Quantum, returning an opponent's monster to the hand, pretty handy. And then pretty much the ace of this deck is Firewall Dark Fluid, or Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid, because again, I run these plus the Ritual monster over there, so I can boost this thing's attack up really high. I get to negate things. It's just really handy, and it should be easy to summon. I've done some playtesting with this deck, like just like test shuffles, and I've had some pretty decent results out of it. Of course, like I could probably make this faster or whatnot, but for what this deck is, I'm pretty satisfied with how it's turned out. So yeah, so that's the deck. Also, the light is really annoying. Like I've said before, I've done some playtesting, but I do want to try this out against Matt. Next time I see him, I might see if he's available to hang out tonight. But yeah, I'm really excited to try this out. And I think like it works decently well, because I've said this before, but Matt and I, we're not trying to be like super competitive, because we really only play against each other, and I guess Jamie whenever he comes around to visiting or we visit him. But I like this deck a lot. Will I improve it some more? Maybe. I mean, Eternity Code comes out in Japan like January, I think. So I can see like what cards are going to be there that I can eventually add whenever the set comes out in English. But for now, I'm satisfied with this deck. It's going to be fun to play with, especially because like there's some new things that would be really interesting to like make combos out of. So yeah. Anyways, that's going to be it for this vlog. Thank you all so much for watching, and see y'all next time for another one. Later.